The xenobiology lecture hall fell into absolute silence as Professor Kethvar's claws scraped against the holographic display. 23 different species sat in tiered rows, their various appendages taking notes on quantum tablets, biostyluses, and neural interfaces. At the center of attention sat the newest addition to the Galactic Academy, a creature so bizarre that most civilizations had declared it too dangerous for higher education. A human. Today, Professor Kethvar announced, his reptilian throat sac pulsing with authority, we study the apex predators of Kepler 442b. Observe the thornback ravager. The hologram shimmered, revealing a creature that made several students instinctively activate their personal shields. 8 meters of crystalline spines jutted from obsidian hide, 6 legs ending in razor talons and 3 heads that swiveled independently. Its roar, even through the audio dampeners, sent vibrations through the reinforced walls. The class froze. Quite literally, the Cryaxians turned blue, the Methani sealed their breathing apparatus, and even the usually stoic Corvinites raised their defensive plates. This was a creature from their nightmares, a beast that had wiped out 3 separate colonization attempts, all except the human. Marcus Chen leaned forward in his seat, eyes bright with curiosity. Fascinating, he murmured, pulling out what appeared to be a primitive protein bar. It's probably just hungry. The collective intake of breath was audible. Professor Kethvar's secondary eyelids fluttered, a sign of extreme bewilderment. "Student Chen," the professor hissed, "this creature has a documented kill count of over 2,000 sentients. Its digestive acids can dissolve titanium steel composite. Its territorial range spans entire continents." Marcus shrugged, unwrapping his snack. "Yeah, but look at its body language. Those spine displays aren't aggressive, they're defensive. It's scared." The thornback ravager in the hologram let out another earth-shaking roar, and several students fled the classroom entirely. The emergency protocols activated, casting red warning lights across the hall. "Scared?" Professor Kethvar's voice cracked. "This is the most dangerous predator in 3 star systems." "Nah," Marcus said, standing up and approaching the holographic projection. The beast's 3 heads tracked his movement, but something strange happened. The roaring stopped. "See? It's curious about me, too." What followed defied every piece of xenobiological doctrine ever recorded. Marcus held out his protein bar toward the hologram. "Here, buddy. I know you can't actually eat this, but..." He made soft clicking sounds with his tongue, the kind one might use to call a domestic pet. The thornback ravager tilted all 3 heads simultaneously. "Impossible," whispered Zithara, a Etherian whose luminous form flickered with disbelief. The acoustic patterns should trigger its hunting reflex. But they didn't. Instead, the creature's crystalline spines began to retract slightly, and it made a sound that could only be described as chirping. Marcus grinned. "That's it. You're not a monster, are you? You're just misunderstood." Over the following weeks, Marcus's behavior became the talk of the academy. While other students armed themselves with plasma barriers and kinetic shields for field exercises, he approached every dangerous creature with the same inexplicable confidence. The venomous cloudlings of Arcturus 7th, which could dissolve organic matter at 50 meters, learned to perform aerial acrobatics for Marcus's amusement. The phase stalkers of Proxima b, incorporeal hunters that haunted the nightmares of a dozen civilizations, would materialize just to have Marcus scratch behind their dimensional appendages. But it was during the final practical examination that Marcus truly shattered every assumption about human-predator relations. The test was simple. Survive 30 minutes in the Academy's danger simulation while a live thornback ravager, the same species from the first lecture, hunted the students. It was considered a graduation requirement that most species failed multiple times. The examination chamber doors opened, revealing the beast in all its terrifying glory. The other students immediately activated every defensive measure they possessed. Force fields hummed, cloaking devices engaged, and weapon systems powered up. Marcus walked in empty-handed, carrying only a bag of various snacks from Earth. The Ravager spotted him instantly, all 3 heads focusing with predatory intensity. It charged, covering 50 meters in seconds, claws leaving gouges in the reinforced floor. The observation deck fell silent. Professor Kethvar closed his eyes, unwilling to watch a promising student become statistics. But the attack never came. Instead, Marcus held up his hand and said, "Sit." The thornback ravager, apex predator of Kepler 442b, scourge of 3 star systems, stopped mid-charge and sat. Its 3 heads looked at Marcus expectantly. "Good boy," Marcus exclaimed, tossing it a beef jerky strip. The creature caught it delicately in its center mouth, purring like a massive crystalline cat. For the next 29 minutes, Marcus proceeded to teach the ravager tricks. Roll over, play dead. Even a complex routine involving jumping through energy hoops that Marcus improvised from the chamber's defensive systems. By the end of the examination, the beast was following Marcus around like a loyal companion, occasionally nuzzling his shoulder with one of its heads while the other 2 kept watch for threats. The observation deck was in chaos. Species that had never shown emotion were weeping. Others were frantically recalculating their entire understanding of predator psychology. Professor Kethvar was having what could only be described as an existential crisis. How? He finally managed to ask when Marcus emerged from the chamber, the ravager whimpering sadly as the barrier closed between them. Marcus considered the question seriously. "I guess we humans figured out a long time ago that most creatures aren't really evil or good. They're just trying to survive like us, and sometimes they just need someone to show them kindness first." He paused, looking back at the ravager, which was pawing at the barrier hopefully. Plus, everything's friendlier when it's not hungry. The impact of that day rippled throughout the Galactic Academy and beyond. The human approach to xenobiology, treating apex predators as potential companions rather than inevitable threats, revolutionized interstellar colonization efforts. Within a generation, worlds previously considered uninhabitable due to dangerous wildlife became thriving colonies, with humans serving as intermediaries between civilizations and their native predators. And in a small corner of the Academy's xenobiology lab, a holographic thornback ravager still performed tricks for visitors. Its program updated with every behavior Marcus had taught it, a digital monument to the human belief that even the fiercest beast could become a friend. After all, sometimes the most dangerous creature in the galaxy just needs someone to believe in them first.